Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. How Dunleavy has impressed Kerr in difficult Warriors offseason. His statue one day will be visited by droves of fans outside Chase Center. When Klay Thompson's playing career comes to an end, his jersey will hang from the rafters among the franchise's all-time greats. No Warrior will ever wear number 11 again. The Warriors also had to pivot in a hurry. They couldn't waste time in such a key offseason for a franchise that has seen the lights turn off for what was one of the best dynasties in any sport. Knowing Thompson's mindset to move on from the only NBA home he has known to join the Dallas Mavericks in free agency on a 3-year, $50 million contract, Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy quickly had to shift his focus in finding creative ways to improve a roster that failed to make the NBA playoffs last season. Did he ever, too? Steve Kerr's sole focus for the time being is leading Team USA men's basketball to a gold medal at the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. The Warriors coach also has been lockstep in every decision Dunleavy has made, and for how much Kerr wanted Thompson to remain a Warrior, he couldn't be happier with the strings Dunleavy has been able to pull thus far. "I think Mike Dunleavy's done an incredible job," Kerr said Sunday at UNLV after Team USA's second day of training camp. Thompson wasn't the only future Hall of Famer the Warriors have lost in the last week. Chris Paul's one-year experiment in Golden State's colors fell far short of expectations. To move on from Thompson taking his talents to Dallas, Dunleavy had to do something that has never been done before in NBA history. He pulled off the league's first 16 trade. Thompson technically was acquired by the Mavs through a sign-and trade, where the Warriors added Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson. The other teams involved outside the Warriors and Mavs were the Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets, Philadelphia 76ers, and Charlotte Hornets. Hield came from Philadelphia, where he joined the 76ers from the Indiana Pacers at last season's trade deadline. Anderson spent the last 2 seasons in Minnesota after playing his previous 4 years for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Warriors also signed versatile veteran guard DeAnthony Melton to a $12.9 million contract through the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. Dunleavy even maneuvered smaller moves before those bigger names in trading for Lindy Waters III from the Oklahoma City Thunder, reacquiring the number 52 overall pick in the 2024 NBA Draft to take Quinton Post out of Boston College, and signed back-to-back ACC Defensive Player of the Year Reese Beekman to a 2-way contract. To rebound from losing Chris and then Klay, and then using the cap to his advantage, he and his group have done a great job, Kerr said. "We've signed 3 really good players, managed our finances really well, and Mike is wonderful at his job in every regard. He's a great partner, too, through these difficult times. Great guy to be able to lean on. There's no replacing Thompson, especially from an emotional standpoint. Kerr knows that. Dunleavy knows that. As do Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Few have ever possessed the basketball IQ of Paul, who will be entering his 20th NBA season at 39 years old when suits up for the San Antonio Spurs this next season. There also is the fact of the matter in the Warriors hitting their many needs while still searching for a second star to pair alongside Curry. They've added knockdown three-point shooting in Hield. Melton also brings shooting and secondary scoring, as well as athleticism and point-of-attack defense. Anderson gives them length, defense, and plenty of experience. In a league where continuity is king, twists and turns have the Warriors closer to their goal than where they just finished, near the bottom of a loaded Western Conference ready to take its gloves off and duke it out on a daily basis. Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr admits leaving Dubs was best thing for Klay Thompson. It's no secret that playing for the Golden State Warriors had already taken its toll on Klay Thompson through the years. In fact, the 5-time All-Star previously stated that the state of his mental health would be a major factor in his free agency decision. True enough, Thompson ultimately opted to leave the Warriors in favor of a move to the Dallas Mavericks. As hard as it may be to accept it, even Dubs head coach Steve Kerr admits that moving on was the best thing for Klay. Kerr did not delve into Thompson's personal issues during the latter part of his Warriors stint. The four-time NBA champion coach, however, acknowledged that it was in Klay's best interest to walk away. "This has become a family over the years and people have watched us grow and stay together and succeed and fail," Kerr said, via Kendra Andrews of ESPN. "So Klay leaves, it's like, yeah, it's bizarre for us, it's bizarre for everybody. But everybody is given a ton of freedom here and they have to do what's in their heart. The best thing for Klay, he needed a change." Thompson's role with the Warriors has dwindled through the years, but there's no denying that he has already etched his name as an all-time great for the franchise. He was an integral part of Golden State's 4 championships in the last decade, and Dub Nation is just counting the days before they can hang up Klay's number 11 jersey in the Chase Center rafters. Warriors doing everything they can to trade $109 million former All-Star. The Golden State Warriors have already made several moves of note this offseason and more could be on the way. That could mean more notable signings like Lauri Markkanen are ultimately coming, but it may also mean a move focused solely on addition by subtraction in the form of Andrew Wiggins. The one-time All-Star, 2021-22, was critical to the Dubs as they captured their 4th NBA title of the Stephen Curry era just 2 years ago, but his play has fallen off considerably since. Golden State has already moved off one salary in Jordan Poole they didn't believe would be sustainable over the life of that contract and parted ways with Klay Thompson, who has proven himself still capable of functioning as a winning player for a contender, rather than overpay him. Evan Giddings of 95.7 The Game on Saturday, July 6, suggested the Wiggins is the third name on the Warriors' more than 1-year-long to-do list when it comes to shedding onerous money in order to build the best roster possible. "I think the Warriors' next order of business is trying to move Andrew Wiggins. Golden State showed us with Klay Thompson, it's about basketball. Wiggins has hurt more than helped the past 2 seasons. Andrew Wiggins has hurt the Warriors over the last 2 seasons more than he's helped them as a basketball player," Giddings said. "And so that's why I think we've come to the point now this offseason where they're doing everything they can to detach themselves from him. And the Olympics just happens to be the center point of it because it might be an obstacle to getting off of him if he hurts himself, and I just don't think they want to take that chance." Golden State has been trying to move on from Wiggins since at least last season's trade deadline, which went in February 2024. "That is the big chip they have to play," an NBA executive told Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports in May. They looked at trading him in February, at the deadline, but there was not anything there for them, nothing serious. But it is a foregone conclusion they're going to look to do it again. They will have to put in young pieces, but he's their only real path to retooling that roster. It hasn't proved necessarily true that the Dubs couldn't add meaningful pieces without dealing Wiggins, as a historic 6-team sign-and-trade deal centered around Thompson helped Golden State secure both Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield, formerly of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Philadelphia 76ers, respectively. The Warriors have also already made a substantial offer to the Utah Jazz in an attempt to acquire Markkanen. The team has centered that deal around its 2 unencumbered first-round draft picks in 2025 and 2027 and presumably at least 1 or 2 talented young players, perhaps Jonathan Kuminga and another like Moses Moody. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Andrew Wiggins? Leave your opinion in the comments.